If you think semen retention is just self-help talk or some fad, prepare to have your mind turned inside out. The truth is that most men spend their entire lives wasting their most powerful energy without even realizing it. And the worst? I don't think this has any consequences. But what if I told you that this practice can radically transform your life, from your energy to your level of success? No, this is not an exaggeration. The Creator of the universe placed within you an immense source of power, but few know how to use it. The ancients already knew this secret. Monks, warriors, spiritual masters, and even great geniuses of humanity understood that this energy, when preserved and well directed, transforms into something extraordinary. Imagine waking up every day with more energy, feeling more confident in any environment, attracting opportunities effortlessly and, above all, regaining control over your own life. It's not magical, it's biological. And the most interesting thing, change begins the very moment you decide to stop throwing away your life force without purpose. But don't worry, I know it may seem difficult at first. The modern world is designed to distract you, to keep you trapped in addictions that drain your energy and keep you from your true potential. But once you understand the benefits of this practice, you won't want to go back. I'm going to show you, step by step, the 10 ways my life has completely changed with semen retention. And in the end, you'll ask yourself, why didn't I do this sooner? There is a hidden strength within every individual, a brutal energy that, when preserved, can be directed towards extraordinary achievements. Semen retention has been recognized as a practice capable of unlocking this potential, transforming tiredness into vigor and stagnation into movement. The Creator of the universe endowed human beings with an internal source of energy, but many wasted this gift without realizing the consequences. Those who learn to contain and channel this force experience a significant increase in motivation, feeling more alive and focused. The feeling of mental fatigue and laziness gives way to an unshakable willingness to act. Imagine waking up every morning with renewed clarity, without the mental fog that once made even the simplest tasks difficult. Many who adopted this practice reported unusual productivity, as if an internal flame had been lit. What once seemed like an effort now becomes natural, almost automatic. Pending work is resolved efficiently, engaged projects come to life, and procrastination loses its force. There is an internal alignment that connects mind and body to a greater purpose, bringing peace and clarity about the next steps. After all, trophies don't just come from good ideas, but from the energy to put them into practice. This transformation is not the result of chance. When vital energy is not dissipated without purpose, it accumulates and manifests itself in an intense desire for evolution. Athletes report improved performance, entrepreneurs feel an insatiable hunger for growth, and artists find new inspiration. Want to test this principle? If you prefer to spend your strength, challenge yourself to save it for a week and observe the results. You might feel a new urge to go to the gym, start that forgotten project, or simply notice that your mind is more alert and focused. Life becomes a game where you finally feel like you have control. And when this new energy stabilizes, something even deeper begins to happen. Something curious happens when vital energy is preserved. The way we see relationships changes completely. Previously, the search for immediate pleasure could mask empty and superficial connections, providing interactions that add something to the soul. However, by retaining this inner strength, a new perception emerges about what really matters. Relationships start to be built based on what is harmed, and not on need. The Creator of the universe provides important encounters when the mind and heart are aligned, and this practice helps clarify who truly deserves to be by your side. With this new awareness, the need to prove something so that others dissolve, bringing genuine peace in interactions. Many notice that their presence becomes more magnetic, as if an inner light begins to shine more brightly. Friends start to value your words more, romantic partners feel a deeper connection, and even strangers notice this subtle change. This is not a game of seduction, but rather a state of mind that exudes confidence and serenity. Prosperity in relationships does not come from insistence, but from the harmony that is built when you are in tune with yourself. This means that interactions become more genuine. Conversations are no longer superficial, the desire for real connections intensifies, and company choices are made with more discernment. Anyone who tries this practice feels a natural alignment with people who share the same values and purposes. If before there was an emptiness disguised by fleeting relationships, now there is a feeling of completeness, as if each encounter brought learning and evolution. But there is an even more powerful effect in this transformation, something that strengthens not only the mind and emotions, but the very internal structure of the human being. When vital energy is preserved, the mind is strengthened in ways few understand. That impulse to immediately seek pleasure, which previously dominated thoughts, gives way to powerful internal control. Discipline grows, and with it, the ability to face challenges without succumbing to anxiety or despair. The Creator of the universe gave us a mind capable of overcoming any obstacle, but we must learn to channel this strength so that it does not dissipate into empty distractions. True mental peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from the certainty that you have the power to solve them. This mental strength translates into practical life in several ways. Small frustrations, which used to cause luxury, are now seen as mere details. Tasks that seem unmotivating can now be faced with focus and determination. The fear of failure loses ground to the courage to act, even without guarantees. A strengthened mind does not surrender to uncertainty, but adapts and creates solutions. Many who practice this retention report an impressive mental clarity, as if the noises of the outside world lose strength and the path becomes clearer. This is the basis for true opportunities. A stable mind, capable of seeing opportunities where there were only doubts before. Furthermore, this new state of consciousness directly impacts daily choices. Higher sound foods become a priority, as energy needs adequate fuel. Physical exercise is no longer an obligation and becomes a way of strengthening the body to keep up with the evolution of the mind. The need for external validation has diminished, as peace is already within. And with this new level of mental control, one thing becomes clear. Success is not a matter of luck, but of who has the energy and focus to seek it. And when this energy is well directed, the results begin to appear in an almost achieved way. Success is not an accident, but a natural consequence of those who master their own energy. When vital force is retained and directed, it transforms into clear, disciplined, and unwavering will to achieve goals. Procrastination loses ground, and the feeling of being lost in life gives way to a deep sense of purpose. The Creator of the universe does not play dice with destiny, and those who learn to channel their energy realize that opportunities will begin to emerge. Not because luck has changed, but because there is now a willingness to grab them. Many who adopt this practice report an almost uncontrollable drive to produce, create, and evolve. Projects that were previously impossible begin to get off the ground, businesses prosper, and healthy ambition ignites. What previously seemed distant becomes palpable, as there is plenty of energy to transform ideas into action. Prosperity is not just about money, but about continuous growth. It is a sum of small daily victories that, in the long term, shape a great destiny. Great entrepreneurs and visionaries understood this. Success requires a sharp mind, a strong body, and well-directed energy. And it is not just in the financial field that this transformation takes place. Relationships improve, self-esteem grows, and confidence strengthens. With this accumulated energy, each day becomes a new opportunity to move forward, without that feeling of going in circles. True success does not come from imposed effort, but from the connection between mind, body, and spirit in a single flow of progress. When this gear aligns, growth becomes exponential. And there is an interesting detail. This magnetism of success is also reflected in the way people see us. There is something subtle, but extremely powerful, that changes when vital energy is preserved: the look. Many people don't realize it, but eye contact reveals much more than words. A steady gaze conveys confidence and an inner strength that few possess. When energy is not dissipated without purpose, it is reflected in the way a person behaves in front of others. The Creator of the universe grants us this capacity for silent communication, where the look speaks before the mouth even opens. Those who learn to harness this force find that the world begins to respond differently. This happens because a confident look carries a natural magnetism. The people around them notice this change and, without understanding exactly why, they begin to respect and admire those who transmit this presence. In social interactions, business, or even casual moments, strong eye contact creates an instant connection. Have you ever noticed how some people enter a room and seem to dominate the space without saying a word? It is not luck or genetics, but a reflection of an aligned spirit, of someone who has found inner peace and, therefore, does not feel the need to look away. The difference becomes visible in all areas of life. In conversations, the repercussion of words intensifies. In job interviews, the impression left is much more striking. In negotiations, the trust conveyed can be decisive. And in the field of personal relationships, a firm and serene gaze creates a level of attraction that goes far beyond physical appearance. When this change is consolidated, the perception of the world around changes, and a new level of clarity and intelligence begins to emerge. Something extraordinary happens when the mind frees itself from constant distractions. Creativity and intelligence flourish naturally. Without energy being wasted aimlessly, the brain operates with more clarity, allowing innovative ideas to emerge with ease. The Creator of the universe endowed human beings with an incredible mental capacity, but few are able to access it to its maximum potential. This is because the majority have lost their vital force and, as a result, lose focus, memory, and the ability to see solutions beyond the obvious. When this energy is preserved, a new world of possibilities opens up. The mind starts to function like a virus-free supercomputer. Thinking becomes more refined, and insights emerge more frequently. Great geniuses of humanity understood this. Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, and even spiritual masters of the past knew that retaining vital energy brought a higher intelligence. Suddenly, books that were previously difficult to understand make sense. Ideas for business or creative projects initially emerge, and the connection with one's own intelligence strengthens. This is true intellectual prosperity, a mind free to create, think, and innovate. And it's not just about thinking better, but about feeling inspired in every moment of the day. If before there were creative blocks, now the mind flows effortlessly. Writers produce more, artists find new forms of expression, and entrepreneurs see opportunities where they previously only saw problems. This increase in intelligence is not something mystical, but rather a natural effect of well-channeled energy. And when this process is consolidated, something even more impactful begins to happen. The body, as well as the mind, begins to reflect this transformation. The body's strength is directly linked to internal energy. When vitality is not wasted, the body responds with more resistance, power, and vigor. Many believe that external materials or methods are needed to gain strength, but the reality is that the greatest source of energy is already within us. The Creator of the universe designed the human body to be a temple of power, but it is necessary to know how to preserve this strength. High-level athletes, monks, and warriors from ancient cultures have already understood this principle. Energy retention generates a stronger and more resilient body. The effect of this is felt on a daily basis. Those who play sports notice a significant increase in performance. Exercises that were previously exhausting become simpler, muscles respond better to stimuli, and recovery is faster. It is no coincidence that in several ancient traditions, such as that of samurai and yogis, the retention of vital energy was a fundamental pillar for reaching physical peak. This principle can also be applied by anyone. Training in the morning, maintaining a nutrient-rich diet, and respecting rest cycles are simple steps that further enhance this inner strength. Furthermore, this change goes beyond aesthetics or physical capacity. The feeling of vitality is reflected in posture, disposition throughout the day, and even in the way one faces challenges. Constant fatigue disappears, improving through a renewed drive to overcome limits. Whoever discovers this inexhaustible source of energy within themselves realizes that life becomes lighter and that the body finally follows the mind in its evolution. And the more this transformation expands, the more one of the most important pillars of existence will strengthen: one's own identity and the feeling of fulfillment. There is a powerful essence within every man, a flame that, when preserved, transforms his presence in the world. Semen retention strengthens this inner core, awakening an authentic, firm, and unshakable sense of masculinity. The Creator of the universe designed man to be a pillar of strength, but that strength is not just in the physical, it resides in the posture, the mindset, and the confidence that emanates from within. Many spend their entire lives disconnected from this power, feeling weak, insecure, and lost. But when the vital energy is retained and directed, a rebirth takes place. This change is reflected in every aspect of life. The voice becomes firmer, the posture more erect, and the presence more magnetic. There is no longer that need to prove something to others, as internal security speaks for itself. A true man does not need to shout to be heard, nor does his presence require force. His simple existence already inspires respect. This is reflected in work, relationships, and even the way people around you treat you. Prosperity is not just a financial issue, but also one of identity, of knowing who you are and carrying the certainty in every attitude. And this strength does not mean aggressiveness, but balance. The man who masters his energy is not reactive, but a strategist, is not impulsive, but calculating, does not seek validation, but naturally inspires. This is the kind of presence that makes people trust, respect, and follow your leadership. This internal change generates an external effect so powerful that everything around begins to align in an almost magical way. And it is in this state of alignment that luck, often seen as chance, manifests itself in an increasingly constant way. Many believe that the type is random, but what if it was, in fact, a consequence of well-directed energy? Those who preserve their vital force notice that positive events begin to happen more frequently. The Creator of the universe leaves nothing to chance. There is a synchronicity behind every opportunity, and those who keep their energy high are able to notice and take advantage of them. When the mind is clear and the body is strengthened, the right decisions seem to come naturally. People certainly show up, business flows and doors open as if everything had been previously planned. Threats are not a stroke of luck, but a direct reflection of discipline and accumulated energy. Many who practice same-time retention report that their lives have begun to change in surprising ways. Money that previously seemed difficult to obtain begins to appear from unexpected sources. New opportunities arise effortlessly and situations shape themselves in your favor. But the real question is, was all of this impossible before, or was the mind and body so weakened that they were unable to perceive and seize these opportunities? The answer becomes clear as the energy strengthens and life comes into flow. And this flow becomes so evident that it seems that everything starts to conspire in its favor. Projects that previously stalled gain traction, innovative connections are formed, and a feeling of being on the right path becomes constant. The feeling of bad luck disappears because, in reality, what changes is not luck, but the individual himself, who is now more prepared to receive an abundance that has always been available. But this journey is not just about material gains. In fact, this practice has much deeper roots, going back to ancient teachings that have been passed down for generations. Since time immemorial, diverse cultures and spiritual traditions have understood the power of retaining vital energy. Taoist masters, Indian yogis, Buddhist monks, and even warriors from ancient civilizations practiced this discipline, recording its profound impact on the mind, body, and spirit. The Creator of the universe endowed human beings with sacred energy, and those who learned to preserve it always served ahead of others. These teachings were transmitted as specific secrets, because whoever masters their own energy becomes truly free, regardless of external situations. In ancient texts, semen retention was seen as an experience for spiritual enlightenment and the development of higher abilities. The wisdoms of the past knew that this strength, when accumulated, could be transmuted into creativity, power of manifestation, and expansion of consciousness. Many historical accounts speak of monks who reached elevated states of perception, warriors who became invincible in battle, and spiritual masters who achieved a magnetic presence simply by knowing how to channel their energy. Prosperity, in this context, was not only material, but also spiritual, as he who controls his own essence is always at an advantage. This wisdom, however, has been forgotten by the modern world, where everything encourages distraction and the loss of this energy. But those who rediscover this practice have come to realize that the ancients were right. The body becomes stronger, the mind becomes sharp, and life enters a flow of continuous growth. What once seemed difficult becomes natural, and the connection with something greater grows stronger. Ultimately, this journey isn't just about retention, it's about transformation. And now that you understand the impacts of this practice, the big question is, how to apply the most effective way to reap all these benefits. Now that you know the transformative benefits of withholding sex, the big question is, what are you going to do with this information? Will you simply ignore it and continue wasting your vital energy, or will you apply this knowledge and change your life once and for all? The Creator of the universe has given you immense power, and the choice to use it or waste it is in your hands. Prosperity, strength, mental clarity, personal magnetism. All of this is within your reach, but you just need to decide to act. The truth is that most men go through life without ever feeling this level of energy and internal control. Do you want to be just another person, or do you want to become someone who truly dominates your own existence? Have you ever seen how things start to change when you retain your strength? Your presence becomes stronger, your mind sharper, your body more resilient. But are you really ready to take on this new level of power? If you like this content and want to learn more about how to transform your energy into growth and evolution, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you continue to receive content that can literally redefine your life. Now tell me our comments. Which of these changes do you most want to try?